What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning at the top of the map, playing as Zeus in the red color. His name is Nullus. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Odin. His name is Yoshii. This is actually part of that the King of the Gods tournament, but this is a hand-picked game. I can't remember exactly if this was... It's probably not game one. It's one of the games in the series. I will not be telling you who won the series, so don't ask. If you want to know who won the series, I recommend heading over to watch the full series casted by whoever casted it. Can't remember. Someone casted it. Probably Blackadder. Could have been Raidel Age. It's Raidel Age's tournament. Let's get going. We're actually on the map. What is this map? Ghost Lake. We're on the map Ghost Lake. Now, Ghost Lake, for all intents and purposes, is actually my favorite original map. In like the 1.03 map pool where everything was absolutely busted, this map tended to be my favorite because I felt like it was the most reliable, the most even, the most competitive. Recently, after all of the map updates, it turns out that this map sometimes produces some unfair spawns. For example, all the boars can spawn right next to each other for one player, whereas the other player might have two separate spawns. Obviously, one is better than the other. And another thing that can happen is that sometimes the hunt can spawn on your opponent's side of the map for whatever reason. But it's not that big of a deal in this one with all the boars being in the same spot. But that is something, obviously, that can happen in any map. With double hunt, you can have, say, on Tundra, you could also have all the aurochs and all of the deers spawning nice and close to each other. So it's not a map-specific thing. It's just something that can happen here, which ends up making it sometimes a little bit unfair. But we'll see how things are going to go. We are seeing that Nullus has decided to move away from his Hades here and actually go in with some Zeus. For me personally, if I was a Hades main, I don't think I would ever be picking Zeus. That's me personally. If I knew the ins and outs of Hades, I just think that there's not really a matchup that I like Zeus better than I like Hades in. Even with the boosted like hoplite shenanigans you can do as Zeus, like taking down buildings and stuff, I think I would still prefer to play Hades at the moment. Why? Because again, say you have say Greek has trouble against Norse, which might be true. Zeus also has trouble against Norse. If you win with Zeus, you probably could have won with Hades. Is my opinion. Now, the more important thing is that in this matchup, Hades has got Aphrodite, whereas Zeus doesn't really have a great heroic age in general, let alone just a god power, but doesn't have a great heroic age. He's got Dionysus and he's got Apollo. Apollo can be good, but it's hit or miss. Not necessarily hit or miss, but it's not the best in this matchup. And obviously Dionysus, you don't see it very much for good reason. It just doesn't end up being that useful. This is a single gold mine Ghost Lake here for Yoshii. So my point is that I think that I'm a bit surprised to see the Zeus, but I'm not unhappy about it because Zeus versus Odin, it's a fun matchup to watch. Lots of chaos. We'll see how things are going to go. To me, this is looking like Nullus is going for a fast second town center. I could be wrong, but 6 villages on gold, 7 villages on wood, going through Athena. It looks like he's going for a fast second town center. Why? Because he's got all of this hunt over here. An interesting decision here from Nullus, and this might be playing into why Nullus is going for Zeus rather than going for the Hades. Now, as Hades, it's obvious to your opponent that, especially when Nullus is playing, it's obvious to Yoshii that Nullus is going to be wanting to go for a fast second town center. But you see Zeus from Nullus and you go, hang on. He's going to rush me. I got to play defensive. And that might be the case here. But we'll see. It looks like Nullus is gearing up for something or other. We'll have to wait and see what it's going to be. He's got a lot of resources in the bank. Husbandry coming through. The army of Yoshii now moving in here as Jason getting pushed back ever so slightly. Little bits of damage coming through as Nullus has to pull his villagers. And are we going to see the town center or not? As the Minotaur coming over here. Odysseus on the way as well. Good little bits of damage coming in from Yoshii. Great micro at the moment. Look at the damage that's coming. He's microing this so well as the ball finish up. Nullus retreats back. The town center is coming up over here though for Nullus, and I believe Yoshii spots this. No, he doesn't spot it. The Raven isn't planted in place as we see the military buildings coming down. And to some degree here, Yoshii needs to respect the Nullus Athena rush. He hasn't spotted any military buildings coming down just yet. But to some degree, he needs to respect it. As the Ulfsarks come through, and they will spot this one. So generally speaking, Yoshii probably wants to get a second town center going up pretty fast in this matchup. But given that he's dropped both of the longhouses, he's even building raiding cavalry here at the moment. As a third longhouse is coming down, Yoshii going to be kicking himself just a little bit. We'll see how he's going to go. He doesn't necessarily need to go for a second talent center. Going for things like semi-fast heroics, semi-fast mythics against Zeus works a lot better than against Hades. So we'll have to wait and see if that's what he's going to go for. But, I mean, other units stopped. The units have stopped. And it looks like Yoshi's plan here is to get himself the second town center himself. He will be putting himself slightly behind on the economy. And we are seeing military buildings coming down here as well for Nullus, as he's going to start the military academy and everything else very shortly here. As the wooden wall, it's a beautiful wooden wall. Is that going to be enough? No, it's not enough. As the Ulfsark does come around, going to attempt to push these ones back here. As not going to be able to get the villager kill, but we'll be retreating through this. Age of Mythology is a cruel game, ladies and gentlemen. It is a giver and it is a taker away. A giver of pathfinding and a taker away of pathfinding. As Yoshii gets a little bit of an owie there for no great reason. He should have been able to pull back because he went through there, but unfortunate. As the Valkyrie does take that town center nicely, allowing those units to run straight past it in order to get into the main base and look for some villager kills here. Nullus here, he's not even reacted. He's not pulling back in the slide. It's not afraid at all of a couple of units running through here. Is Yoshii going to be pulling away with his units? The town center just about up. 3 Hearse are on it only here. As some throwing axemen getting pumped out, raiding cavalry as well. As basically Yoshii is saying here, you know what? We aren't going to be fighting. You don't need a fight here. He just needs to distract around. I think one thing that he probably could do is start putting buildings around this town center here. Longhouse, armory, houses around here, just to wall this off from any sort of potential hoplite raids, and just try and get to the heroic age. Nullus on the other side, he really should be thinking about how he can keep Yoshii in the classical age and get Yoshii onto this gold mine and be putting pressure onto it as early as he possibly can. If Nullus can keep Yoshii in the classical age, that's advantage Zeus. So we'll see if he's going to be able to make that happen or not here. A couple of walls coming up on this position. Villagers happily hunting over here as well, as the army is getting spotted there. Nullus going to retreat back as he realizes he's been spotted. This Ulfsark over here trying to get walls set up on this position. I mean, I don't mind it, but I wouldn't mind this gold mine getting that wall treatment as well, ignoring this forest to some degree, or even just walling up and around and across here. Wouldn't be a bad idea, just to ensure that he can maybe grab that one a little bit later. Small walls coming up all across the map here for Yoshii, playing it really, really defensively. But Armory coming up onto the town center. This is what we were saying. Definitely a very important thing here. Nullus, however, he's starting to put pressure on, and I think that the problem here, and it's a big problem that is very rampant with Norse, and it's part of the problem where Norse kind of struggles in the early game quite a bit. Some of the time is that Norse's train time on their units is quite slow. For example, the throw and axeman is 16 seconds. The raiding cavalry is 18 seconds compared to hoplites and toxotes, which are 14 seconds training time. So you need to get more and more military buildings down if you want to be pumping units out. It's very, very important. We see a third town center coming down now for Nullus. Surprised to see Nullus taking this one so slow. This town center kind of secures a gold mine on the back here nicely. But obviously you can kind of ignore that and just run straight through here and attack the gold mines and get somewhat of a gold starve going. Of all of the maps to choose to go boomy here as Norse, this one isn't it in my opinion. Why? It's 4 total large gold mines, which basically means you have to start a really, really early trade route, which can be really, really tough as Norse. Really, really tough. You do see the third town center coming up on this position. The army going to be making its way over here. The walls are up already for Yoshii, which will slow Nullus down ever so slightly. But the army, it needs to be over here to defend because this town center is not going to be going up here if Nullus can push through. And personally, I don't think that Yoshii should be going for it. He should be going heroic age. He should be thinking about a 2-town center timing to punish this third town center, to punish the farms, to punish the fact that Nullus is having to stay in the classical age here. But Yoshii gets pushed back. Town center gets denied. Just delete the town center, get those 300 gold, get that 300 gold back, and just advance. The armory is up. It's not going to be a bad idea in the slightest here. But Nullus is going to be doing that for Yoshii at the moment here. There's more units getting popped out. And I mean, Yoshii doesn't need to fight. He's got an army kill, complete army kill available to him in restoration. And he just needs to click advance. As he could at the top side here if he wants. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. Nullus at any point can change the field of battle up to the top side of the map as well and try and take out this town center. So Yoshii's going to be a little bit careful about which position he sits in. He's not really tracking this army all too well. There is a raven flying overhead to kind of allow him to do so. But now Nullus, he's pushing up to the top side here. Medium cavalry coming through as well as the army now coming over here to try and grab this town center. But is it too little too late? To get this town center up, with all of those units, this army is going to be able to tear down this town center. And Nullus, he's playing this really, really nicely here. Going after the armory, going to stop those armory upgrades as well. Farms coming down here for Yoshii. He's now finished up on that hunt here. He's got a whole bunch of goats remaining though, as the town center is now getting torn down over on this position. A whole handful of units here sitting basically idle. Getting that town center up is Skadi now coming through. Lone Wanderer coming in as well for Yoshii here as the army comes through. But like we said, too little too late. Town center is down. That is part of what makes Zeus strong. Is the hoplite bonus against military buildings as restoration gets thrown down here. I mean, technically speaking, Yoshii's kind of in the same spot he was in, but restoration is down, which is kind of a good thing if he can get a good frost off, kill off that army, put pressure up onto this position where all the gold mines are, potentially take this town center out. He's going to be in for a really, really good time. But this heroic age is so late here for Yoshii that I'm kind of doubting this is going to go so well, as the villagers pushing forward. Grabbing this town center is going to be another difficult thing for Yoshii to deal with. But I mean, Nullus is also advanced to the heroic age. So this is as bad as it can get for Yoshii, because there's also going to be access to the... is there a forest fire? Use forest fire here. Open this up 100%. But there's also going to be access to... It's so difficult. I don't even know what to say. There's going to be access to Hapaspis now for Nullus as well. And it kind of looks like Yoshii is almost all-inning on a mythic age here through Balder, as the Frost Giant retreating back. I think that Yoshii, he has to fight here, and another town center is up. Military buildings coming down over here as the temple gets torn down. The army comes onto this from the top side. Watchtowers coming through as well. As the house is getting cleaned up, the army of Yoshii, where is he heading? He is keeping Nullus off of gold for the time being with those raiding cavalry. But I don't think Nullus cares. He's in such a commanding position. Heavy infantry also coming through for Yoshii as well. As a couple of villagers getting cleaned up over here. The villagers looking like they're moving forward to try and grab this gold mine. There's still 4,000 gold remaining here. So plenty for Nullus. And he doesn't even need to move back onto these gold mines. But he is going to be going there as Yoshii's still scouting around. Trying to put a stop to it. As Yoshii getting closer and closer to his mythic age, but can Balder save him here or not? The villagers on this gold mine getting pushed back. Villagers moving forward here for Nullus, trying to get control of this gold mine as the underworld passage coming from where to where as the frost does come down over here. Nullus doesn't retreat fast enough there as these units do get picked off. A temple coming up here for Yoshii as well. Villagers retreating away. They have to. As Nullus, he's got 1,000 food in the bag. He could sell food as well if he wants to here and kind of make it harder for Yoshii to keep going in this game and trying to... I mean, if he sells food, he can prevent... Nullus can prevent Yoshii from selling food effectively. So he can stop any sort of mythic age from coming through. Nullus' villagers retreating back. We do see a Heracles coming out to try and deal with that Valkyrie and those raiding cavalry. I'd be surprised if the Heracles can actually win this fight, but a couple of villagers to help out as well. Not going to go astray. As the villagers do finish shanking down that market. Balder has been clicked up. A 54 population-ish. I mean, obviously this town center can build some more villages while this is all going on, but a fairly low population Ragnarok here against 4 town center Zeus. At this point, it's going to be a tough one to make it work here, but we'll see how it's going to go. There's a throwing axeman coming over here, going to push those hoplites back home. We do see a fortress coming up on the front here. Nullus is not slowing down here in the slightest. As the village is getting pulled back, this Heracles still getting... kind of led astray. Yoshii is so good at these distraction tactics. As the villagers coming back in, a couple of them going to get taken out. Nullus has already started a trade route here as well. Absolutely love that. It's kind of a weak trade route, but you can always fix it up in this corner at any point. As the army of Nullus pushing forward, happily taking these fights here. The throwing axeman doing some good damage. Pegasus getting chased. Oh, you hate to see it. Pegasus does get taken out though. Now the throwing axeman can start dealing with those hoplites nicely. Balder just about through as Yoshii here. He's got himself the temple. There's just so many gold mines for Nullus now in this game. And not many for Yoshii at all. He does manage to get to the next stage. He's going to try and get himself up to a full population. Nullus is already at full population and he can start spamming out Hypaspis here. Military academies coming up everywhere for Nullus. He doesn't have to start the Hypaspis training just yet. Going after those villagers, trying to force a Ragnarok out. As Yoshii's 110 population can't even get to that 130 population. As villagers getting taken down, he almost has to click Rag here. As the fire giant over here, one has been queued up. A couple of fire giants won't go astray. But the longer this goes on, the longer that Yoshii waits to click Ragnarok, the kind of better of a position Nullus is in. There's champion infantry coming through here for Yoshii. As Ragnarok does get clicked, 235 population. Will it be enough? Yoshii needs to remember to take those villagers out of that town center, though. That can be an easy to forget problem. 4 Rag here is nearly 90 population. There's a whole bunch of Pegasus coming over. The Pegasus are actually a decent unit to train. They cost 2 population, which is... It makes it a little bit too much to do for it to be super worthwhile. But you can just put the Pegasus over your opponent's throwing action and it makes them 140 HP, 50% hack armor versus 5.85 damage per second. It's pretty good. Raikiro is sneaking around the side. This fortress will get taken out very, very fast here. Yoshii still has 24 Rag heroes sitting idle in that town center. This is going to be the death of Yoshii here in this game. As the Fire Giants do push forward, do push Nullus away from him here. They're so strong. Nullus stuck in the heroic edge means no Bellerophon, so a little bit of a difficult time for him ahead. As the villagers getting taken out still. The Rag heroes sitting idly by. Villagers now moving over onto this gold mine as well. I like that play, but the Rag heroes are incoming. This is the type of mistake you simply cannot be making with Odin, with Ragnarok, with Baldur. It's just not something that you ever want to be seeing. Will he notice that there will be, if you take a look at Yoshi's perspective here, there will be, it doesn't show up. It doesn't show up as idle military either. For whatever reason, these heroes of Ragnarok are just sitting there, not showing up as idle military. You hate to see it, but it happened. As the army over here, basically, they are taking out a lot of villages. Nullus is hurting for economy. Imagine if they were in the fight. Nullus might actually be in for a difficult game here. If all those heroes of Ragnarok were in this fight and those Fire Giants had a front line, so they can actually get some good damage done. And now Yoshii notices it. Popping out of the town center. And he says, damn it. I can't do it. There's not enough remaining. I didn't get enough damage done. And does decide in that moment to tap out. Well played by Nullus. Would have been interesting to see what would have happened if those extra heroes of Ragnarok were actually in the army. But nonetheless, Nullus manages to make this one work. I do think that Yoshii maybe a little bit too used to the Hades matchup and too used to how strong the Hades town center is to realize that his best play here was to stay to town center, get that frost out, use frost onto the enemy Zeus army, kill that army, and then just make a huge push into this top town center here, trying to either get early Fimbulwinter here and get a gold staff or something like that. He did not need this town center in the slightest in this game. Made that mistake, and Nullus punished him for it. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next game.